at the deadline. Well, I don't expect us to make the playoffs in the first year anyway, so it's like, I don't expect this team. Oh my god, we just win that game, tied for 2-0.
Sir Daniel has managed to pinpoint staying power that other original PlayStation mascots, and adventure. Twisted Metal series. There have been many car combat games over the years, but most of their DNA is Twisted Metal. The series that put the car back in carnage, players have access to a myriad of twisted characters and their insane vehicles, and they slam metal and use multiple power-ups to keep them in hand. The series has had its share of ups and downs, Twisted Metal Black in particular being one of the best of things, but nonetheless, the franchise has staying power. Due to the new increased production as well as the TV series, the world of Twisted Metal continues to remain one of the leaders when it comes to all-out car combat carnage. Well, that's what I brought. The old rich shit. Infamous series.
Please don't try anything stupid.
Superhero games have been a staple of the gaming industry since its infancy. And while there's no shortage of great titles to choose from, the Infamous series was something special. Taking on the role of Coleman Brown, players moving free reign not only to parkour around the scenes in the first intent, but also choose what type of hero they want to be. At various points in the game, players were presented with good or equal options, and their choice would affect not only the story, but the powers they could unlock as well. Cole became such a beloved character that when Sutherland attempted to change his appearance in the sequel, backlash was so severe that the OG Cole was reinstated. Second Sutherland's previous character said,
This is how I will introduce myself.
Resistance series.
Today, the country shudders in a wake of cataclysmic devastation. Torn by war within brutal and terrifying enemies, the likes of which we have never seen.
After the success of Halo on the Xbox, Sony was desperate to find a Halo killer for their series of consoles, and after the Killzone franchise failed to deliver, Insomniac took a shot at the title with their Resistance series. While the franchise might not have been the Halo killer Sony was hoping for, Resistance gained a massive cult following thanks to its unique setting of an alternate World War II in which the alien invasion begins to take over the world. Insomniac's ever-creative weaponry straight out of their Ratchet & Clank series gave the titles a fan base that continues to this day. The franchise found its footing with its third and final entry, managing to tell an emotional and horrifying story with an incredible tale. Insomniac is currently swinging from project to project, but that doesn't stop fans from requesting a reboot.
This struggle, ladies and gentlemen, may now be forever long.
Horizon series.
See?
Are you better?
The newest addition to Sony's catalog, the Horizon series made their presence known with their very first entry, Zero Dawn. With an amazingly detailed and vibrant world, Horizon set itself apart not only with its colorful post-apocalyptic world, strict style of combat, and not to mention the freaking robot dinosaurs, but also in its protagonist who has already achieved legendary status in the gaming community. The most indicator vital. Aloy resonated with gamers with her cunning fighting style, quick wit, and her steadfast nature that refused to back down from the challenge. With only 2 entries so far and at least 2 more on the way, the Horizon franchise is already one of PlayStation's best. Both the team of gorillas let us explore the world of the world.
It's almost here.
Gran Turismo series. Queen Gear Simulation Racing Series, Gran Turismo Liberty Digital set the bar for all future racing sim games all the way back in 1997. With an unprecedented number of cars to choose from, all models from their real-life counterparts, the level of detail delivered racing in each game has only been recently rivaled with the likes of the Forza series. For those looking for the most authentic racing driving experience, this time driving a real car, slower and less fun, this is the closest many will ever get to taking to the track in this car. Even despite recent setbacks to the franchise, the Gran Turismo name still carries the legacy of decades of pitch-perfect racing and performance. Ratchet and Clank series.
There's one character that always stands out, and it begins with a key. It's the genius of those who create.
Unique little furball is ratchet to the left by double manure. Platformers have been around almost as long as video games themselves, and Sony has no shortage of fan favorite platforms to choose from. While any of that could have made this list, such as Jack and Daxter or Slide Cooper, we had to go with Sony's longest running action platformer series, Ratchet and Clank. The tale of these two unlikely heroes has been going since 2002, and nearly every game is a direct sequel to numerous callbacks for long-time fans. While most platformers focus on nailing those pitch-perfect platform jumping skills, Ratchet and Clank did all of that while making sure everything was on fire with some of the most expensive weapons in the entire gaming industry. Ratchet and Clank games have always been graphical powerhouses while still managing to tell an engaging story about a pair of heroes many gamers grew up with, and the two show no signs of slowing down. Uncharted series. We meant to this man. While Naughty Dog's other flagship franchise, The Last of Us, could have easily made its way onto this list, we decided to go with the franchise that practices the feeling you just experienced a summer blockbuster rather than the existential crisis over the horror we just finished. The Uncharted series is a love letter to the Indiana Jones movies that inspired it, albeit with the more over-the-top action set pieces of the Michael Bay film. But that combination oddly works. Nathan Drake has cemented himself as one of gaming's favorite, wisecracking, barely escaping by the series, swashbuckling hero who installed himself as a kid. Gamers watch Nathan continue to grow as the series progressed, and even after his retirement, the series still lives on with his friends' globe-trotting adventures with their next big treasure hunt. God of War series. A franchise just too angry to die, Kratos and the God of War series has become one of Sony's most well-respected series in their entire games catalog. The story of Kratos' revenge and his subsequent reinvention as one of games' greatest father figures is an unprecedented turnaround for what was generally known as some of the most violent video games on modern consoles. With including combat and a narrative including actual mythological war, as well as telling a compelling story, the God of War franchise has evolved over the years from a series built around its over-the-top action and violence into enough of a household name that even non-gamers know the story. Sony and PlayStation have created icons synonymous with PlayStation, the same way Master Chief is with Microsoft and Xbox. If you enjoyed this video, check out these other clips for Mojo Plays, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.
We're
Oh, he's not even playing right now. That's yeah, no, yeah, I can't allow that. Yeah, we need income close on making that. That's on board strat. Seven. Damn it. Oh, I will more to the sky. It's oh wow. I'm like in the 22s, huh? It's not even true. No. I'm picking in it all the way here. Oh my god. Oh my god. Ah! Holy shit, not a lot of people do work. Oh, Detroit. Oh, fuck off. Oh, wow, that defense D-man went too. Shit. What did I do good? Good. Is that guy pitching? Oh, damn it. Wow, you went way a little sooner. Shit.
is my attempt to beat a hardcore Nuzlocke of Pokemon Black with only Ghost-type Pokemon. The full roster for this run is listed down below, but put simply, only the first Ghost-type encounter in each Group 4 area can be caught. If the Pokemon thinks it must be permanently marked, no items except battle items in battle, party Pokemon numbers are limited to the next gym leader or the final league member's ace, and finally the battle bow must be put on set at all times. The Ghost-type. Definitely a favorite among Pokemon fans, and for good reason. It's a wickedly cool design, both in design and in utility. Added to that is the fact that it was also quite rare in earlier generations. But since then, a plethora of really cool ghost types have been released, quite a few of which we'll get to work with today. And Pokemon Black and White have a stellar lineup of possible encounters for us. But, as always, hardcore Nuzlocke rules do add some complications. In fact, this will be the only time this run has ever been attempted on YouTube, and there's good reason for this, but I think I found a way to make it possible. And when it comes to making the impossible possible, perhaps no game does it better than today's sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends, a free-to-play turn-based game for mobile and PC, which you can download using my QR code or links below. With millions of champion combinations and quick team building, if you're a fan of Pokemon Nuzlocke, you'll love this game. As you might be able to tell from my content, I love a good challenge, and Raid provides amazing strategic challenges with over 600 champions to use, but also an insane variety of bosses. One of my favorites is Bommel the Dreadhorde, an insane fire rhino that's basically Rhydon taken to the extreme. In terms of strategy, he'll strip your buffs and place bombs you can't block or remove, and debuffs only cause him to place more. You'll need really high resistance and lots of healing, along with minimizing your debuffs. And here's a little hint. You can use the collection artifact sets to send his own bombs right back at him. You're welcome. Raid's always got cool stuff happening, like 5 wild new champions I can't wait to get my hands on, tons of smaller updates, and a huge series of summer splash events for the whole month, featuring incredible skins for everyone's favorite dwarf, Trunda. A special Deliana Chase event is also on. New and existing players can get the brand new legendary champion from the High Elves faction for free by just playing Raid for 7 days between now and July 28th. All new players, once you're engaged, enter promo code MyDeliana to get 50 XP boost to max her to level 50, along with tons of silver. New players use my link or QR code to get a free starter pack worth almost $30, a free champion payroll, and also this cool in-game loot. You'll find your rewards here in your inbox for the next 30 days only. Huge thanks to Raid for supporting us, and let's get into the run. It's Juniper, looking good. What up? You're gonna introduce me to my best friends? That doesn't even make sense. Proceeds to rob my house in despite of even failing to question her. Alright, it's time to pick our starter that we're gonna throw in the trash in all of 10 minutes, and I decided to go with Tepig as it would likely be the easiest to face with the ghost type, giving us an extra challenge from the other Pokemon from our rivals. Speaking of which, the battles with them went smoothly, although Charon absolutely smashed us with a crit on his very first attack, but somehow we pulled through in the end, taking no further damage. I think this is the future gym leader we're facing. After getting Pokeballs, our run officially begins, but you might be saying, so where the hell are you going to find a ghost type? And that's a damn good question, admittedly. It's a complicated first encounter, but we're going to get there soon. In Community Town, we witnessed a historic rally, and something I just noticed is it seems like Anna's purposefully planted into the audience to cheer and rally up the crowd from within. That's deep, man. Up north, there's these two elderly people, and the man says, let me give you the benefit of experience. You listening? The number of Pokemon you can take with you at one time is 6. Whereas the woman says, people treat these Pokemon with love and affection. That's what I think our mutual relationship is. I think you two need to work on your relationship. You two are on completely different wavelengths. Heading to the next group, we get a call from our mom, and Alright, it's time to get serious. We next arrive at Strident City, the location of the first gym, and we don't yet have a final encounter. See, our first encounter comes after we meet Fennel using the Sea Gear, but we can't get to her until after the first gym. So we're going to make the only slight modification to this game by merely checking the Sea Gear box, allowing us access to Fennel and, by extension, the Dream World. A black and white equivalent of her Gold Soul's Pokewalker, which allows you to find and catch Pokemon from your Pokemon's dreams. In this Spooky Manor area, thankfully, we have 4 different encounters that are available as default encounters, and ours ends up being a Ghastly, which I caught and nicknamed Venkman. Bankman ends up having a docile, neutral nature, and one cool thing is that it also has sludge wave when caught from the dream world, a 95 tower 6-time attack bonus for stat boost. Incredible. With that, it's time to box me, the Tepig. What? He asked for it. In the training school, we get the opportunity to test out Bankman against Sharon, and what a powerhouse this thing is. Sludge Wave is an incredibly strong move to have this early on. For winning, we get awarded with some much-needed horn berries, as berries are hard to come by in these games. And with that, it's time to hit up the stride gym. Most of the trainers here have normal types, and they can't use any stat moves against us, so the process goes by pretty smoothly. Just trying to get us to the level cap, I went to the dream yard, and youngster Joey, is that you? Wait a minute, Joey, where's Rat-a-Tat? Where's Rat-a-Tat, Joey? It's time for the first gym leader who's going to be correct. We picked Epic initially. Now, you have to be careful here as Pokemon has super effective moves against us in fight and play. Although Gastly is incredibly frail, with base 100 special attack and 80 speed already, he's able to eviscerate his Lillipup immediately. Alrighty then. Here comes his Pancor though, and we hit it with Sludge Wave, but it barely survives in the red, but just goes for a workup as he tends to do, and then after he potions, that allows us another hit to KO him and win our first match. That was surprisingly easy. Bankman is a beast. You know, there's something about villains physically abusing Pokemon only to be stopped by the Pokemon's mother, who comes in and induces the legions of their boss into their minds so they're terrified and run away. That just hits the spot. No, seriously, what is that storyline? Okay, you know what? You're a little late, Fennel. Would have saved me a lot of trouble if you gave this to me like 5 minutes ago. I'm headed to daycare. No, I mean the child daycare, not the Pokemon one. This toddler says, seriously, guys are all just little boys. You know, I was going to fire back, so here I am playing Pokemon. Here I accidentally entered a double battle with Cunningham, our Gemon, and, well, Sludge Wave is a move that hits everything on the field in double battle, so sorry, little one. Bankman is just a harbinger of destruction here. Meanwhile, for me, we face off against 2 Team Plasma Grunts alongside Sharon, and I have no choice. I have to do the same thing. But his Oshawott is actually the second thing to ever survive an attack from Bankman, this time on just 1 HP. In here, we can also grab the TM for Beat to get type boosting items off wild Pokemon, and then we arrive in Nacrene City where the next gym is. Has this girl who can give us the charcoal item to boost fire moves, which is no help to us now, but I have a feeling will be very helpful later. Oh look, a cafe! This cafe has a special on Wednesdays.
Is this something that...
Enter the Nacrene, museum, which has the gym behind it. I was going to make a joke about the trainers being old fossils and being in the wrong section of the building, but, I mean, damn. Only one thing in the gym survived Bankman's slaughter, but she had just used an X defense, so it didn't amount to much from her end, I gotta be honest. It's time for the second gym leader, the normal type specialist, Lenora. Now, although she can't use stat moves on us, I'm still feeling very nervous as she has Bite and Crunch on her team. She leads with a Hurry with Intimidate, doesn't affect us, and Sludge Wave immediately KOs it. Unreal. It comes her ace though, Watch Hawk. We hit a Sludge Wave, but it doesn't KO, but does get the poison, but she immediately goes for Crunch, and it KOs Bankman immediately. Ouch. I was kind of hoping she'd go for Hypnosis as I had a Chester-Berry attached, but yeah, that hit hard. There's just no way that we could possibly survive that. Us going for Hypnosis was possible, but that's a 60% chance. Bankman was a 30 special attack IV Gastly too, so we can't possibly hope for more damage, and with just one Pokemon, we get too close to the level cap to do any PvP training too. We need something more. A full reset of the game later, and we drive back into Nacrene City, this time with a Gastly I nicknamed Bankman. Get it? Oh, that's awesome. But, as I found out, we also have another default encounter available in a different area of the Dream World, the Icy Cave, a Snowrunt. I named her Janine, and Janine has a quirky neutral nature. Now, Snowrunt doesn't yet have the ghost type technically, but it will, and due to limited encounters, we're going to play the way that most Nuzlockers do, and allow its use since it does become a ghost type. After some theory crafting as to how we can make this possible, let's give it another shot. I believe the same way as last time, although this time around we have lower IVs, so Sludge Wave just Surely doesn't take a hurrier, and she hits a fight to bring us to almost a quarter before then healing. Then we get her again to the red. Another hit takes her down from there, though, as we level up, which is allowed to hardcore Nuzlocke's mid-battle. Here comes the big threat, Watch Off. Here I switch it to Janine, who tanks Crunch with 2/3 remaining, and our booty ability activates, raising our special defense and lowering our accuracy. We had terrible rolls on booty here, not helping us at all, but we survived to retaliate on just 12 HP before our berry, then hit an icy wind for about half, which also drops their speed. Booty is going terribly for us, so here I execute the rest of our plan. Knowing we can bait another retaliate, a normal type move, and her best with advantage Janine, I switch into Vex that is immune, then we can outspeed and hit a sludge wave to the KO and win. Whew, that was quite tough to pull off, but I'm very happy we managed what I thought would be a complete roadblock. A long journey through the Pinwheel Forest allows us to retrieve Lenore's skull, well, I mean, the Dragonite skull from her museum. Yeah, that didn't sound right at all. And we eventually reach one of the coolest displays of the DS's power in Pokemon, the Sky Arrow Bridge. I distinctly remember the first time I saw this, I was blown away. Quite a step up for the franchise, and it doesn't stop there as we arrive in the giant Castelia City. At one of the piers, this girl says, when someone's getting under your skin and you want to yell at them, scream at the ocean. When you're alone, of course. Now, items in Castelia are definitely more sparse than in the sequels, Black 2 and White 2, but after this girl confesses to second-hand domestic abuse of her boyfriend by having her Pokemon use a wake-up slap on her every morning, we can grasp the Eevee-like from the scientist for seeing 20 Pokemon, which increases the defenses of unevolved Pokemon. Now, unfortunately, up ahead on Route 4, our next encounter is available right after this damn guy who blocks us off. Oh well, we'll have to make do with what we've got. In one of the buildings, we meet one of my favorite Team Plasma members who admits that he thought it would be funny to put a criminal hideout right in front of a gym. What a savage. And Bianca proceeds to thank them for having stolen her Pokemon and returned it. What is wrong with you? The next gym is upon us, the Castelia gym, and in here we had a pretty easy time as we each could handle the bug and grass school-type Pokemon. Although we had to watch out for Pokemon like Dwebble with rock-type moves, that's for sure. The third gym leader is Bird, the bug-type specialist, and after a bit of theory crafting and catching the Eevee-line on Janine, it's time to go for it. He needs a little whirling, quite a defensive beast we have no coverage against, especially not on Fangman, and I go for Icy Wind immediately, which does a quarter. Then, Poison lands us with a critical hit for nearly half. Ooh, however, we then get a special attack rate for Booty, causing Icy Wind to bring us to red, and we get brought below half. After he uses a Hyper Potion, another 2 attacks do the job, although we get a speed drop from Booty in the process, but another special attack increase and a defense increase too, which allows us to survive double super effective attacks and smash into the 1-hit KO. However, it comes as a advantage with a high speed and high crit ratio Razor Leaf, so yeah, not a good idea to stay in. Here I switch advancement to resist it, and then amazingly, one of the others is with Sludge Wave. Nothing like a stab super effective move. Now that was a solid battle. 3 factions. In the Route 4 game, we have a battle with Bianca, and her team's a bit tricky at this point, but I have a bit of a plan. She leads with a Herdier, and I lead with Janine. We were getting brutal booty rolls, so I tried using Protect to hopefully fix them, but it was not working out at all. I don't see plus accuracy, thank you very much. In the end, 2 degrees and Craven got brought below half before taking her out. In comes Luna next, and again, I tried to go for good booty rolls, but plus attack and minus speed. Oh, we tanked Heidi quite well though, but can hardly do any damage with minus special attack, and she has a Moonlight for recovery too. With 2 more special attack drops on the next turns, and a yawn coming in from her, eventually bringing us to the red, I'm like, alright, we have no choice. I send in Venkman, and we get yawn. Not good, but Psybeam would have been brutal for us too, so what can you do? One Sludge Wave takes her down, and then in comes Pampor. It's all a matter of waking up now, and we do after 1 hit to take her down. Her final Pokemon is Servine, and we have a great answer to that thing, thankfully. 1 hit KOing it as well. Could have been terrible, but we pulled through. Now after all that, I'm like, alright, we need some help on our team, so I allowed it to evolve into a Haunter, even though I was trying to wait until it got Shadow Ball by a level up. Charon's battle up ahead is even harder than Bianca's, especially due to a damn fast fly part with Super Ball things. But you feel like Haunter is an absolute monster and sweeps through his entire team. Let's go. Surviving Anakin Skywalker's worst nightmares are next task, during which we find the black glasses and the soft sand items. Then we finally get access to the relic castle, the location of our next encounter. A bit of searching has us find it, a Yamask, which we catch and nicknamed Egan. Egan has a calm nature, plus special defense and minus attack, which is actually pretty great, and it has a relatively cool moveset already too. Feeling ready to party, we arrive in the Vegas of Unova in Fossa City, and already we find an elderly man being raw. Seems fitting. Now, unfortunately, Nathan has already reached the level cap, so Yamask came in at a very good time. At the Easter Gate, we can find a crucial item, the Macho Breaks, which doubles EVs on Pokemon that hold it. Great for early game, as it's hard to get EVs without leveling too high otherwise.
Celebrate the flavors of Canada with Whirlpool Air Fry Ovens. Air Fry family favorites like tandoori chicken lollipops and East African sambucas. Brighten your oven. Whirlpool Air Fry Ovens. Open the doors to exciting new flavors.
Bianca then directs us to the damn musical, and, well, I guess it's most fitting to force our newest team member into dressing up. This is like Egan's equivalent of college hazing. Because my pretty stiffy though, not gonna lie. After an extraordinarily awkward Ferris wheel ride with N, he challenges us to battle with a challenging looking team. Although his lead Sandile is weak to icy wind and gets KO'd immediately. Here comes a Darumaka though, which has a massive power fire punch, so it's pushing Benson, and he misses anyway due to his hustle ability, which lowers his accuracy, allowing us to one-hit KO with Sludge Wave. Next up is a Sigilith, so here I switch in Egan as he goes for Tailwind. He then hits us with a side E, but not much damage with a Meteorite attached. Then X does about a third. A back and forth leaves us both low, but I have no option to switch, so I stay in. And Egan survives on just 7 HP, but gets confused. Oh no. But we pull through for the last hit. Holy. This final Pokemon is a Scrappy, which has super effective moves on all 3 of our team members, so I switch into Janine to tank Fake Attack, and then switch into Benton as we finish the Brick Break, which doesn't affect him. Then gets slammed with Sludge Wave for the 1-hit KO. Amazing. Some very close calls, but I think we played well. The Nibasa Gym is our next destination, and here the trainers were manageable, although I forgot that Demolga tend to have pursuit, which makes things dangerous at times, but a Burn plus Hex combo as well, as it doubles the power of the opponent as a status. When are we getting this message? The 4th gym leader is Elisa, the electric trainer, and to be quite honest, I don't know how we pull through this. She has 3 fully evolved Pokemon, all faster than every single one of ours, and with full switch prohibited. After tons of theory crafting, it's time to give this a try. She leads with Emolga, and I send out Egan. Remember, Emolga has Pursuit too, super effective, and doubles in power if we switch, so we have to be very careful as she hits with full switch and pivots into another. But as for misses, we have something again to lower my concern about Pursuit. Are you kidding me? This might be all over off the bat. I decide I have to switch, and she gets the double power Pursuit, but we survive as Venman comes out. She then hits another for not a ton of damage, and then Sludge Wave 1 KOs her. Alright, we're still in this, I guess. For a second, the moment comes back out and instantly both switches into Zepstrika, and Sludge Wave hits her to a quarter. I literally cannot switch here, as Janine couldn't handle an attack and a flame charge, so I decide to just go for it, hoping she uses a dumb move, but she doesn't and goes for a Spark, but we survive on just 3 HP and can slam her with another attack to KO. Wow. Her final Evolver comes out, and because of the level up from Zepstrika, I now know we can outspeed it, although the tier is close. And we do for the victory. Unbelievable. That went totally different to how I expected and how I kind of planned it, but we improvised well. I head over by Chair Battle once again, and leads with its blind part of all things, and it has Torment to lock us into using the same move, which is bad, but I figured Janine has Protect, so we can alternate and get the Ruthless too. In the end, he doesn't end up using it anyway, so a couple attacks do the job with us in half. And here comes out next though, so here I visit their Benjamin to tank Flame Burst and respond with a KO. Duai comes out next and survives with Sludge Wave, gets us with Razor Shell, and gets a crit too to bring us to just 10 HP before we can respond. Sheesh. These final Pokemon is Tranquil, and since we're immune to priority quick attack, we can slam it with another hit for the win. After the champion of the Unova region makes us wipe the floor with some toddlers, we get Elusa to do our bidding and lower the drawbridge. This gives us access to Driftdale City, the location of the next gym. Before that, though, we hit up the cold storage where we find Staltia again, which will be fantastic for a later encounter. What is going on in here? Maybe I don't want to know. Oh my, it just keeps getting better and better. Oh, we can also find the Never Belt ice here. You're welcome, Jake. After grabbing the expert belt, whose super effective moves further from the market, it's time to pick up another encounter. Now that we have 4 badges, the windswept sky area of the Druid world opens up, allowing us to catch an Druid Bloom, which I nicknamed Tully. Tully has an impish nature, plus defense and minus special attack, kind of meh, but it gets the hidden flare boost ability, which is pretty cool and might help with that. While training up at the gym, Tully ends up evolving into a beastly Drift Limb, quite an interesting Pokemon overall that I can't wait to use. Now, recognizing how hard the next gym is going to be, I traveled all the way back to the Wellspring Cave on foot, the only cave we've been in so far, and here I spent forever searching through the dust clouds for a specific item. During the process, we found a dusk stone, which we're also going to need later. Guess we killed 2 birds with 1 stone. Or 2 stones with, okay, never mind. After picking up 35 total items, not including the damn Drillbur encounters, we finally got it, a Dawn Stone, which I use after needing to evolve her into a beautiful, albeit terrifying Frostlass, an amazing upgrade. With that, let's hit up the Jerkdale Gym. Please.
It's something say,
So the XPS 13 Plus is the latest and most powerful XPS 13 ever, and today we're going to take a look at it. It has an all-new design with a seamless touchpad, a new touch function row, and double the performance. Check out the video and get to know this better.
That evolution and the expert belt, Janina's able to rip through the trainers with relative ease, and we eventually arrive at the 5th gym leader, Clay, the ground-type specialist. He leads with a Croc Rock with Intimidate, which doesn't matter to us, and Janina speeds for the 1-hit KO with expert belt boosted stats, super effective Icy Wind. Here comes the base next, Excadrill, and although I'm worried I don't have much of a choice, so I go for Waterfalls here, and it does nearly half, and trying to lower our speed, I guess, which brings us to half. Knowing Rock Slide would KO, I switched to Egan with the Eviolite, and he tanks it well. He finally hits himself in confusion on the next turn, but we missed the burn. Are you kidding me? He hits himself again, though, but we miss again. What is happening? He then Hyper Potions, and, we miss a 3rd time. What the... He then powers up his attack with Home Claws, but we finally get the burn. He keeps charging up though, but we do have a secret weapon. The Haze moves cancel out his stat changes. Double Power Hex then starts doing some decent damage, but we got glitched by Rock Slide at one point. We brought him all the way to the red again, but he has a potion yet again, so at a 3rd health I switch it to Tully. Rock Slide hit us for a 1/4, but here I have Double Power Hex as well with the Ghost Gem for extra power, but even after the burn, it's not enough. I have to risk the crit, but he doesn't get it, and with just 18 HP, we take that damn thing down. His final Pokemon is Palpito, and here I send his Denkman as Muddy Water does nearly half, and gets the accuracy drop. I have no choice though, so I try to go for the staple. I miss, but then he misses his Muddy Water. I try again, and he miss again, but he goes for Aqua Ring. I have to try Hypnosis here, but we missed that too, and then Muddy Water slams us, but we survive on just 7 HP. All of our Pokemon are hurt bad though, so I have to try another, and we miss, but he misses again too. What is this battle? Our next turn, Hypnosis hits, and we can now use 2 Sludge Waves for the KO. I have no words, just none, and that was insane. Bianca is relentless and challenges us again, but this time Tony is able to handle her whole damn team by using Stockpile to raise defenses, followed by Gust and Hex like crazy to wither down her Pokemon. What a beast this thing is. Funny thing is, she also gives us the Flying Gem for winning, which is only going to power him up further. Speaking of which, at level 33, Benjamin also learns Shadow Ball, some amazing power-ups overall here. At the end of the Chargestone Cave stands N, this time with a team that has very tough typing for us, resisting or having super effective coverage against pretty much everything we have. I decided to just go in with Benjamin with the Eviolite and spam Shadow Ball like mad through his first 3 Pokemon, with us being brought to just 24 HP before Clank comes out. The only thing he doesn't really have coverage against is Egan, so I switch him in and go for the Burn Hex combo to lower his attack and persuade him not to use stat moves, and that worked out pretty well for us. That grants us access to the Strolton City where the next gym is, and before Zetamore ends up having a bashful neutral nature and is a Pokemon I'm incredibly excited to use, especially as it evolves. We can also find the perfect item for our team right here, this spell tag to boost ghost moves. At the top of the tower, alright, do I even have to say any words here? Let's just say it was a pleasant thing. Filled to the brim with excitement, Egan ends up evolving into a bulky Concretus, which I think should add some more defensive presence to our team. The mission of the gym is upon us, which has a really cool gym design, and as I'm sure you can imagine, Janine ripped through it with her ice moves. This next gym here is Skyla, the flying type expert, and I'm feeling pretty good about this one, but not getting overconfident. She leads with a swoop ad, and the obvious choice is Janine, one of the few Pokemon that can outspeed that thing, and Icy Wind is a one-hit KO with the extra belt. And the same thing went for her Pheasant too. A solid start. However, in comes her ace, Swanna. I hit it with Icy Wind to lower its speed, as she used Aqua Ring for regular recovery. Now here, I switched to Tully, and my count scored just off apparently due to Aqua Ring, as I thought we could take her down in the fly, and then
I don't have enough
recovery while we're in the air, but she just barely survives on like 1 HP before healing. At just 18 HP, I have to switch,
I barely have Randy.
Got a crit on Aerial Ace as we switched in. Oh god, Egan quickly gets brought low while hardly doing anything, so now I switch to Venkman, and Air Slash does over half, even more than I thought. This is not good. I have no choice at all though, so I go for Sludge Wave, and she barely survives on 1 HP again. I was literally saying my goodbyes to Venkman when she misses Air Slash and the burn takes her down. Absolutely miraculous. I couldn't believe it. Venkman is fated to survive, I swear. Don't know how we escaped punishment there, but 6 match. With our 6th match in hand, it's finally time to commit to the train evolution to evolve Venkman into a beastly Gengar. I mean, he deserves it. Just ahead of Twist Mountain, we have our next battle with Charon, with his team improving quite a bit here. He leads with a now fully evolved Pheasant, and I lead with Janine for the instant KO with Icy Wind, except he survives and gets an attack off before we KO. Alrighty then. Here comes Cities here next, a big threat, but because it's raining, I can go for Weather Ball here for the instant super effective Expert Belt KO. Incredible. Here comes Liveheart next though, but amazingly Janine outspeeds, hits it below half with Icy Wind, but its Berry brings it back above half and it uses Torment. Not good. Now here, I almost sent out Gengar, but realized at the last minute, this thing has Unburden, which raises its speed after it consumes a berry, so it would have gotten 2 hits off in a row and taken us out without us knowing. Ooh, close call. So here I switch it to Egan instead and get the burn off to lower his attack, activate Mummy to get rid of his ability, and then switch it to Venkman knowing we can now survive and take him out. His final Pokemon is Duon, and we do have to watch out for the water boost from rain, so I switch it to Tully and get hit to 37 HP before landing a final fly to end the battle. A scary one, but we managed well. Arrival to Anchor City always makes me nostalgic for some reason, and they do it over there. Traveling a bit further before the gym to Route 8, we can pick up 2 great items. The Poison Barb to raise the power of Venkman's Sludge Wave, and also Sludge Bomb, which would have been good if we didn't have a Dream World Gengar. Before the next gym, I also head all the way back to Route 4, where we can now use Surf to find our next encounter, a Frillish, which I catch and nicknamed Dana. Dana ends up having a timid nature, plus speed and minus attack, which is actually fantastic. The Icarus gym is upon us, and here I have a little boy doing good work with the Eevee I've attached, being able to do some big damage with Flame Burst, when he's not getting frozen by Ice Beam, that is. The 7th gym leader is Bryson, the Ice Specialist, and unfortunately 2 of our most important Pokemon for this battle, Litwick and Frillish, evolved just after the level cap, so we're going to have to try and make do with what we have. He leads with a Vanillish, and I send out Zetamore, and Flame Burst brings him to the exact range that I thought, causing him to waste all his Hyper Potions, and then a final attack takes him down after he nearly got an Astonish off. His next Pokemon is a beastly Beartic, and knowing it has Brine, I switch it to Dana, but he went with Swagger. Not ideal, but after getting hit by Icicle Clash, we land a Scald and get the burn. Nice. With his high defense, Egan did a great pivot here, although we confused him as well, causing us to hit ourselves twice in a row. And then, I kid you not, I was getting a package delivered at this exact moment and got incredibly distracted, accidentally clicking X again, and we got hit low. Then hit ourselves in confusion, but we survived on a singular HP. Goodness gracious. I switch to Janine and saves the day from there, and his last Pokemon is Cryogonal, for which I send in Zetamore again, whose Flame Burst does the job with us at 31 HP before leveling it up. Our final encounter location is then the Dragon Spiral Tower, where on the first floor we can find a really cool already, I'm going to leave them in there for now. Along the climb up the tower, Dana ends up evolving into a bulky and powerful Jellicent, after which Eddie goes absolutely nuts, summoning legendary Pokemon up the wazoo. I don't actually know what that means, I just kind of like the term. Okay. A trip back to the Relic Castle allows us access to a new area where we can get the best TM of the game for us, Shadow Ball, which 4 of our Pokemon can learn, giving a massive upgrade to all of them. Let's go. Xenomore also ends up evolving into a Lampent, who I'm going to leave the Eviolite on for now. Our final battle with Bianca was actually one that I completely forgot about. Luckily I had healed, but we were left with the same party order we had for the gym, and with the rain it made it quite difficult since Xenomore was effectively useless aside from being able to burn with Will-O-Wisp. But our team rounded out pretty damn well as we could alternate effectively between Benjamin, Dana, and Tolly to handle her City 4, Luciana, and Superior. Man, I always thought this 2-blind bridge scene was hilarious. You just stop running for like 10 minutes to get to Getsus. I'm Tony Getsus. I'm almost there. I'll see you in a bit. Actually, I already see you, but you get my point. That long term later, and we arrive at Opelousas City where the last gym is. I tried to go ahead to the next route, but, wow, they really got lazy with these roadblocks, huh? The Opelousas gym is a wicked-looking dragon gym, and as I'm sure you can imagine, Frostlass is a nightmare for the gym trainers. The final gym leader in this game is Traded, the Dragon Specialist, and I think I have a decent strat for him. He leaves with a Fracture, which we can send back to the Dinosaur Age with 1 extra belt boosted attack, and then next comes Dredagon. Icy Wind actually only does about 2/3, then Night Slash hits his hard below half. That would have been a KO.
These titles are very old now. For example, so XCO 2009, and a lot of gaming standards have changed. So, PlayStation Plus changed, and now those of us with PS Plus Extra and Premium have a second bunch of games to look forward to each month. Unlike the essential games you receive, the extra games rotate in and out of the collection. So in future, I'll be sure to let you know which ones come into the catalogue too. So let's do this. July 2022, the first ever extra update. The headline act is Stray, coming on July 19th. We play as a cat lost in a mysterious forgotten city, filled with noise machines. We are trying to get back to our family and must solve puzzles along the way. As we're a cat, we can visit places and feel or not. But simple tasks you and I take for granted take a little bit more effort. On top of puzzle solving, there is a focus on platforming and escaping these glitches. We'll be given some skills along the way, such as this light beam which annihilates those technicals. Stray is grand spanking new and is drawing on July 19th. Oh, and legend has it, we'll need to be our 100th on trophy. Next, we have Final Fantasy VII Remake Into Raid. This includes the unique DLC known as Intermission. Remake tells the story of the original 1997 game, but it's now clear the direction changes and the new adventure unfolds. For example, Easy has a side story telling us how this creature became one of the main cast, stealing Midgard's material. If none of that made any sense at all to you, then rest assured the gameplay is good enough to keep playing. A blend of real-time combat which builds up and beats intel, which then lets us unleash real attacks. One of the most impressive elements is the switching seamlessly between other characters together. Reviews monitors both the story and gameplay are 90% average score of 9 to 10. Did you know the new Saints Row game releases next month? A soft preview to the series. To whet our appetites, Saints Row 4 re-elected and became the extra catalog. Saints Row was once a rival to GTA, yet over the years it became so over the top it was more of a counter-choice inspiration. Saints Row 4 re-elected in the 2015 version of the game with all DLC included. That's the story of how the Saints saved Christmas. And as we're about literally going to hell to save the president of the States. We'll be collecting superpowers which let us jump up miles and even spread moves and fly. And I'll have so many weapons to choose from, like a minigun attached to a chair. If you're up for some silly dumb fun, Saints Row 4 could be worth your time. Reviewers tell us it's an 8 out of 10 game, but that was all the way back in 2013. Next, Ubisoft games. The partnership between Sony and Ubisoft means we'll regularly receive games you'll know of. And to begin with, there's not one, there's not two, there's 5 Assassin's Creed games. Black Flag, Unity, Rogue, Freedom Pride, and the Ezio Collection, which is actually just one of 3 games. Assassin's Creed 2, Brotherhood, and Revelation. And that includes 2 short films as well. So 9 Assassin's Creed experiences to choose from. The gameplay was more about staying out of sight in these older games and using your hand blade sparingly, unlike the modern games. But if you want to go in head first, it's still an option. Black Flag is the most unique of all these games, as it sets during the golden age of piracy. The story in Black Flag has us revisiting some great pirate moments from history And also, there's been a ton of updates since its release, including Spider-Man. And now with multiplayer modes, you can all pick the same character. So, lots of Spider-Man. As it's the first month of PS Plus Extra, we get the biggest game you can imagine. Paw Patrol on a roll. Okay, I'm sure you've noticed, we're entering into games I know nothing about. So if any of the following games are worth our time, please let us know in the comments below. Maybe you'd like to play Jumanji, the video game. You could be The Rock, or Jack Black, or Mark Knox. How about Ice Age, Scraps Nutty Adventure, or Ready Set Heroes on PS4, or maybe Spirits of the North, a game in the same vein as Journey, without any direction or dialogue, and some would say without any narrative at all. Okay, so that's all 15 games and DLCs added to Extra this month, arriving on July 19th. Let me know your thoughts, and if you like the series, and I'll let you go off. I'll see you next time.
Good job, Jason.
I am liking how this team is looking for this season. A lot of artillery weapons.
Make sure you're hydrated, because I'm about to turn the heat up. Is it my intent to overcome a hardcore Nuzlocke with Pokemon Y, which only buys our Pokemon? If you are invincible for Pokemon hardcore Nuzlocke, then